Peace and love, y'all. It's a little windy right now, so I apologize if that affects the video in any type of way. But yes, I want to do a series. I am going to do a series about my microdosing shrooms experiences. I'm going to tell you all of the experiences I have in each video. I have not personally taken a heroic dose, which is basically a large amount of shrooms that takes you into like different dimensions and realities and things like that. So yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. So once I experience something like that, I'm definitely going to share. But I'm going to share with you all of the experiences I've had so far and what I've learned. So my very first microdose was a piece of chocolate. It was 0.5 milligrams of shrooms in this piece of chocolate. And I don't know if I'm going to give y'all a background story, right? So I went to Howard University for like a conference or whatever. Howard University in Washington, D.C. And lunchtime, I took upon myself to explore D.C. Like, I've never been in D.C. before. This is my first time, so I left the conference and ended up walking around the area, and I came across a man at a table, and he was sitting outside of a building, but his table, it had like, you know, the little fancy, cute little packets that weed comes in, or marijuana. I don't know what word I'm supposed to use on here, but yeah, it was sitting in the little bucket. So I'm like, does this man have weed sitting in his bucket right now? So I asked him, like, what's in there? And he was like, it's nothing in here, but the real stuff is upstairs. Now, before y'all be like, girl, what the hell do you be doing? I be doing anything. I do a lot of anything. Yeah, I do a lot of crazy things, but my spirit didn't feel no type of way, so I still took it upon myself and went upstairs. I wasn't by myself, though. 2 other people from the conference were with me, 2 other young men. But yeah, basically he like pulled up the walkie-talkie, and he was like, I'm sending 3 up. So we go up like 3 flights of steps. We go into a house, and it's a woman in there, and it's like a whole store in the living room, like a corner store set up. Like, it had an ATM in there, it had a money exchange thing in there, it had everything that you could think of, edibles, weed, shroom, like every version, like just everything, drugs galore, okay? They had some jewelry and stuff in there too, but I got the shroom chocolate. So I got the shroom chocolate, and then I took it on like a random Saturday. I wasn't by myself, though. I wanted somebody to be with me for my first time because I didn't know how I was going to go. But prior to the shroom trip, I did prepare myself days prior. Like, I was making sure I was getting my work done, make sure my room was clean. I was cleansing myself. I was journaling, just getting myself in a good headspace and a good vibe, because that'll ultimately dictate the trip. So, or as you know, what people were telling me, like, you got to be in a good headspace, you got to be in a good vibe, or you're not going to have a good trip. So, yeah. So, I prepared myself prior, even the day before. I did a lot of sound healing, you know, journaling. I don't know if, did I say the day before? I meant like hours before, hours prior. But anyways, yeah, I got my friend to babysit me. It started off in my room. I was just going to do the trip in my room. But I was sitting by the window. Let me backtrack. So it took about, I think, like 30 to 40 minutes to kick in. But when it started kicking in, I was laughing. So this is how I know it was working, because I just kept laughing, like uncontrollably, like nothing funny. My friend was talking, I think he would say stuff, and I just would like laugh, and it had nothing to do with humor. So yeah, I couldn't stop laughing. I was smiling really hard, so I'm like, okay, it's happening. And so I'm looking out the window. It's a beautiful day outside. The trees outside my window look beautiful. The sun was just beaming on my face. So I'm like, we gotta go outside. So we go outside and we walk to the trail that's nearby. I'm in college, y'all. So, and there is a trail nearby that I like to go to. So yeah, we were in the trail, and I was on shrooms, and he was sober. He was completely sober. He never did shrooms before. He doesn't know what it's like to be on shrooms. So yeah, so we're outside, and he's talking to me, and it was like I can hear every single word he was saying. It didn't matter like where I was looking at, what I was paying attention to. I was just so locked into the conversation. Like I could be looking at something else, being in a different direction, but everything that he was saying to me, I could hear it. And I was focused on it. So one thing I would say about shrooms is that it teaches you how to be present. It teaches you how to be present. Everything, I was focused on everything around me. I wasn't thinking about yesterday. I wasn't thinking about what's gonna happen in a few minutes or what I'm gonna do later. I was just so focused on the beauty around me. Everything was beautiful. So when you're on shrooms, everything is very detailed. You can see the detail within everything. I don't know, everything is just like the green is brighter on the trees, and you know what I'm saying? Everything is just pretty. Everything is very pretty. I don't know what the word I'm looking for right now, but y'all get it. You can just see the detail, everything just looks 10 times beautiful than what it would look like if you were on mushrooms, if that makes sense. So yeah, so we're in the trail. I had a nice playlist too. I had made a playlist prior. I wasn't on my phone. Like I didn't feel the need to be on my phone. I took some pictures. On my phone. We're gonna get into that pictures thing later. Basically, I just felt very blissful, very relaxed. I was very present. I wasn't in my mind. Everything around me, I was focused on. I was focused on my friend. I was listening to everything that they were saying. I was playing with the bugs. I took my shoes off and I grounded myself. I think my locks were wrapped up to start with, and I took my locks out and I just let them soak in the sun. And me and my friend, we played like frisbee for a little while, and it just was a beautiful day. To be honest, nothing crazy happened. This wasn't really a trip where I learned too many lessons. It was just me being present with my friend, basically, in nature. But the trip did get bad. I almost went into a bad trip. I'm not going to say it got bad, but I almost went into a bad trip, and I'm going to tell you why. So they also say, oh, what kind of bug is that? Yeah. Anyways, they also say not to look at yourself when you're on shrooms. So I was taking pictures of myself though. Like I was taking pictures of stuff outside. Like everything was just so beautiful. So I just wanted to capture some things, and I felt beautiful with myself. I was looking at myself and I was like, oh my God, I'm so beautiful, I'm so pretty. So I'm snapping the pictures, and then I start to go through the pictures and look at myself, and I was looking at the picture for too long, and it started to look like demonic and creepy. I don't know what that was about, but I was smiling like really, really hard. Like the whole trip, I think this lasted about, dang y'all, I should have wrote this down, but I will say it was definitely earlier in the afternoon, and it ended when it was getting dark. It was starting to scare me, so I threw my phone, and I was like, I'm not gonna look at my phone no more. But unconsciously, like I literally picked up my phone and started looking at the pictures again. Like I didn't even know what made me get back on my phone. But yeah, it just started to scare me. So after that, I just felt a little weird. Because my face, it looked funny. It looked a little distorted. It looked a little evil. It looked a little like I was laughing in one of the pictures, and it looked like I was doing like an evil laugh or something. As we're walking out of the trail, I'm trying to think. I think it was Sun is Shining by Bob Marley. I don't think it was Natural Mystic. No, yeah, it was definitely Sun is Shining. That song started playing, but it was playing in like slow motion. Like it was playing very slow when his voice started getting deep, and it just started getting, scary. So, and I felt that like the song was just going on for so long. Like, look, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what type of bug that is flying around, but yeah, it almost felt like it was taunting me, like as I was walking out the trail, and for whatever reason the trail felt so long. Like mind you, it's getting dark, this creepy song is playing, and I'm just walking through this long trail, and I'm just like, what the hell? So yeah, basically at the end of that trip, the end of that trip, just, you know, it just started to go left. So I went inside. Mind you, my friend is still with me, and I have so many mirrors in my room that I didn't even know I had so many mirrors. So basically, I close my eyes and he's guiding me around the room like I'm washing my hands with my eyes closed so that I don't look at myself and send myself into a bad trip. But basically, that was the end of the trip, though. It was going down as I was walking out of the trail. So by the time I got back to my room, I put on like Avatar or something, and I went to sleep. And I think my friend just left after I went to sleep. So yeah, to sum that up, my very first microdose, my very first shroom trip was a 0.5 piece of chocolate, and I was very present. I was in the present moment. I felt this feeling of bliss, and it's not like a high feeling like if you were to smoke weed. It's more like a change in your perception. It's like almost like an alter in your perception. So it's not like it is a body high. Like you do feel like you're not tense at all. Like you're tense free, but it doesn't feel like something is ultimately taking you over. Like I was still me. I was still in control of what I was saying at my mouth. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this story time. This is just an introduction to the series for real, because after this video, I'm going to continue to break down what I've learned throughout the rest of my shroom trips. This was like a tester. This was like a perfect like first time shroom trip. It wasn't really that like a super crazy realization experience or anything like that. But the ones after this one were. So I can't wait to tell you all about those ones. So stay tapped in. Make sure you subscribe.